and AM 630.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday morning, and we are at the Jukebox Diner in Sterling, Virginia. Still plenty of time for you to come down and join the ever-growing crowd here. We got the show on the road today, and boy, do we have a lot of stuff to share with you. In about 30 minutes, we're getting an update from Scott Goldberg, ABC reporter, on the outbreak of Ebola in New York City. We have one person who is confirmed to have Ebola now. At 7:05, it's Ken Cuccinelli, former Attorney General of the Commonwealth of Virginia. At 8:05, Barbara Comstock. She's running for Congress, Frank Wolf's old seat. And at 8:35, we'll have our weekly conversation with Brett Baer from your Fox News channel. It's Brian Wilson, alongside, proudly, Larry O'Connor.
Oh, there it is, everyone. And we're coming off a win, so we can play this. We are so excited to have President and General Manager of your Washington Redskins, a neighbor right here in the area, Bruce Allen. So good to have you, sir.
Thanks, Bruce. Thanks for coming
thank you, and welcome to Loudoun County.
It's good to be here.
Great place to live and work.
I want you to know that when the whole sales team at WMAL heard that you were going to be here this morning, they started flooding me with questions.
Oh, God.
I have a whole list.
Team?
There are issues with Redskins fans right now, Bruce Allen.
Maybe how about the Steeler fan right here?
We're not focusing on. I don't want to listen. There's so much to talk about with the Redskins. Let's first focus on the game at hand. This is a big deal. Monday Night Football, Redskins Cowboys in the house that Jerry built. Before we talk about the game, admit it. Everyone in the NFL, all the owners, all the other general managers, you hate Jerry Jones, don't you? Go ahead and say it. You do. You hate Jerry Jones.
I really can't say that. I think.
You mean you're not allowed to say it?
I think he's terrific for the rivalry. I think it's about the players and the fans in this game. You know, back in the 70s when my father was here, we really, really didn't like the Murchisons and the way the Cowboys were built. They believed in computers, and they believed in statistics, and we believed in people and players. And so there was a real head-to-head relationship and challenging people to fights in the middle of league meetings and things like that. I mean,
really?
That was the good old days when you could actually swing at somebody at a league meeting.
Wow.
But, no, Jerry's built a beautiful stadium. He's got the best team in football right now, and we're going down there to try and beat them.
Well, if you could win one more game this season, this is the game
This
to
is
win.
the one
I
you
know
want,
you have
right?
higher hopes than that.
If you all remember RFK Stadium rocking,
Literally.
rocking,
Yeah.
we want Dallas. It sends chills through your spines. That's who we want to beat, and that's the only game we can win this week.
All right, so let's get right down to the question that's burning on everybody's mind. We see that Redskins coach Jay Gruden has said that nothing has changed, that it's going to be Colt McCoy as the starter, but he did say that he would not make a decision about Robert Griffin being ready to play until Monday night. And some people have said he's being a little coy. I would ask the question, is he being a little McCoy?
Oh, is that clever? See, that's
do.
that's why you get in radio business. You come up with stuff like that.
I mean, where is Robert right now? And is it a possibility, at least, that he will start this game?
Well, no. The coach's plan is to start Colt McCoy.
That's the plan now.
Coach's plan.
But is
See
it?
what he did
But I
there?
ask you, Bruce, is it possible?
Is it possible? It is the NFL, and
Anything is possible.
everything is possible. You know, it's going to be who takes the reps at practice, and Colt took the starter reps, and that's who Jay's going to go with. Now, whether Robert's able to be the number 2 quarterback
Back and be ready to play, right?
And hopefully whoever starts the game, and it's going to be Colt, is going to be healthy throughout the game.
You feel
so
pretty certain it will be Colt then?
Oh yeah, he's been practicing with the starters the last couple of days.
And how do you feel about Colt McCoy going into this game where Tony Romo is so hot right now?
Well, the Cowboys are. They have the best record in football, but this rivalry is special. There's been a lot of different players playing these games who have made history for both franchises. a damn guy named Clint Longley
I
beat
remember,
us on Thanksgiving Day.
I remember that.
So a lot of things happen in this series, and we look forward to it. It's not going to be just about the quarterback. It's going to be how we protect the quarterback. It's how we protect the ball.
Let's talk about RG3 for a minute, because I have to say, it's been a tumultuous time so far, some major highs, some major lows. This season, though, when he had his injury and he's been going through a very painstaking recovery process, there's been a difference this year compared to last year. He's not talking to the media very much. He's not sort of getting in front of the microphone and expressing his views and sort of contradicting the coaching staff. Is this a sign of maturity? Is this a sign of Jay Gruden handling him a little differently? What's going on with RG3?
Well, and I don't like to compare coaches, because that's unfair to them. Everybody's a little bit different. Robert's injury and where we're at with a team right now is a different situation than a year ago.
Sure is,
and he didn't get all the training camp practices and that much. He does have a very good relationship with Jay Gruden, and they talk every day. In fact, they're probably meeting right now while we're here. They're probably not listening to the show. Is that unbelievable?
It is actually unbelievable.
But is he maturing? Every player matures. Ryan Clark, who's over 30 years old, is still maturing right now, and I think everybody in that locker room is focused on the team, and that's what's so exciting about this franchise.
Let's talk about the Redskins more. They're more than just a sports team. They are part of the culture here. They really are. I mean, people live and die by the Redskins, and it's not just about football. The Redskins have been, under a lot of fire by the politically correct crowd who don't like the name for one reason or another. And your organization, and your owner have steadfast and promised the fans that he will never, ever change the name of that team. Do you think in the long run that was the best way to go about this issue, by standing that firm on the team name and saying, I'll never do it? Because it almost seemed like that brought more criticism from those who are uncomfortable with the name.
Larry, I think you started it in the right manner. This franchise is an important part of this community for over 80 years. And we always feel that our game days is the most unifying place there is in the nation's capital. We involve everybody in society, and even sometimes a Packer fan or a Steeler fan might sneak into our building. But
so there isn't an IQ test at the gate. You just let anybody in. That's nice of you.
But we're so proud of our history. We have the 5th most wins in the history of the NFL. When you think of the Washington Redskins, you think of Sammy Baugh, you think of Bobby Mitchell, you think of those people. I understand that some people aren't going to be fans of the Redskins. We're going to see 95,000 people on Monday night in Dallas who are not going to be fans of the Washington Redskins. Yeah. But that's the sports world. And when I hear some of the comments and we see some of the comments, it doesn't fit the mold. When you realize the term Redskins, as discovered by the Smithsonian Institute's linguistic expert, says it's a term of solidarity made by Native Americans. When you look at the logo on our helmet, it was designed by the president of the NCAI, who was the chairman of the Blackfeet tribe. We know the truth. We know what our fans are, and we know where our heart is.
Well, we've often observed on this program that if they're going to change the name of the Redskins, they need to change the name of the state of Oklahoma, which is translated loosely "red people."
Yeah, and Brian, we played in Arizona a couple of weeks ago, and the Red Mesa Redskins, which is on the Navajo reservation, their high school team came to our game wearing we have the same logo.
That's right.
The same uniform.
All right, Bruce Allen stays with us because I want to ask you in just a moment about the media. We talk about media bias a lot here on Mornings on the Mall, and I don't think people recognize the bias in the sports media is very similar to the political media. I want you to chime in on that and hopefully not get yourself into trouble. And a few other questions for Bruce Allen, President and General Manager of the Washington Redskins. He stays with us. It's 6:17 on WMAL. We're live here at the Jukebox Diner in Sterling, Virginia. And, on his way into work, Bruce Allen, President and General Manager of the Washington Redskins, decided to stop by, have some coffee. Yeah. No bacon yet. I haven't seen any. You're still on your your fitness diet regime.
No, we always salute hogs with the Redskins.
There you go. That's right. So bring this man some bacon.
So I alluded to this. I mean, the fact is, a lot of people don't realize this, but a lot of the people in the sports media, they went to journalism school. They were influenced by those same professors that influenced the political media. The difference is, let's be honest, they weren't smart enough to do news and politics, so they ended up doing sports.
That's right, of course.
But they still have those beliefs. So anytime an issue like this, you look at Bob Costas with guns, you look at almost everybody on ESPN when a race issue comes up, or some other social justice issue, like this made-up name issue with the Redskins, they seize on it, they pound on it. I mean, ESPN, they had their own poll that showed that their viewers didn't care about the Redskins name, but they kept reporting on it. What's your relationship with the media, the owner's relationship with the media, Mr. Snyder, and how much of this controversy is being fueled by that bias?
Well, obviously, it's been a fun topic for a lot of people in the media.
Fun?
We are in the sports world, and I think people miss that. When you come to a Redskins game at FedEx Field, no one wants to talk about taxes and the different social issues and all that. They want to talk about beating the opponent on the team, and they're working together. And I think everybody else can learn from sports. Our locker room is the perfect meritocracy when you think of it. We have players from 30-plus states, from all different types of background, all working together, and they know they're on the team because they were the best player that competed at training camp. And I think if you look at the values that you see in a locker room, you'd appreciate sports. And if people want to use their personal agendas for various reasons, it really doesn't affect us. The fact that the NFL gets so much media attention, and the fact that the players and the coaches that came before us and the fans were so great, is a reason that the players make so much money today, which we're for them making it. The media attention, the Twitter attention, has been great for the economic boom of the NFL.
All right, so how do you feel when the major paper in the nation's capital will not use the name of the team? How does that make you feel? What are the discussions there at Redskin headquarters when you hear about this?
Well, that's the editorial board doesn't use it, which I don't think we belong on the editorial page.
I was listening to Christine Brennan the other day, and she would not use the name. Others have decided they will not use the name. Is that hurtful to the team?
Not at all. We care about our Redskins fans. We care about our football team, and that's the direction of the team. When they sing "Hail to the Redskins," this city comes alive.
Yep.
And my father, one of the things he was most proud of is when we beat the Dallas Cowboys on December 31st, 1972.
Oh, I thought you were making a prediction for a second there.
No. In the NFC Championship game, the mayor gave my dad and the team this great plaque because it was the first time in Washington, D.C. on a New Year's Eve there was not one crime.
Wow, isn't that interesting?
And that's because of everybody unified for the Washington Redskins.
Yeah, we have some more questions. So
bring them.
Yeah. You're going nowhere.
Yeah, hang on for a minute.
Bruce Allen, he made the fatal mistake. He didn't.
Ebola doctor coming on.
Don't worry, we'll get to Ebola. We're going to ask you about Ebola. It's 6:21.
I've got a question for you, Bruce Allen, who is, of course, the president, general manager of the Redskins. So glad to have you out this morning. Look, the fans of the Redskins are amazing. I mean, they may be the best, most loyal fans in all of the National Football League, but they're long-suffering. The last time that this team went to the Super Bowl was 1992, and I remember that very vividly and how it was for this town. Do you feel like with Coach Gruden and with RG3 hopefully getting healthy for the second half of this season, I don't think you feel like you're probably going to the Super Bowl this year, but do you see a path to glory again for this team?
Well, that's a great question, and it's a great sentiment that we feel. We're reminded every day of the greatness that came before us. Those Super Bowl trophies and the trophies from Sammy Baugh's era are at Redskin Park, and we want them there. And the pictures of the great players are there. Yeah, we do feel we're going in the right direction. Jay Gruden has a special relationship with players on this football team. His honesty. Guys always say, "Oh, I want an honest coach." Well, they got one, and sometimes they don't really like
Be careful what you ask
the
for.
honesty. But he understands the entire picture. We have some areas that we would like to upgrade right now. You can't. The draft's not right now, and free agency. But, yeah, I think we're going in the right direction, and that is our only commitment right now. We have to do our job, and that's to win.
Bruce Allen, you mentioned that great day when the mayor of Washington, D.C. gave your father a placard. Let's talk about the mayor of Washington. The current mayor of Washington and all the candidates who are running for mayor right now, they have condemned the name of your team. I'm sorry for bringing this issue up, but it has to do with your new stadium. Your owner, Dan Snyder, has said, we want a new stadium. It's a 10-year window. The governor of Maryland and both senators of the state of Maryland have said, we don't like this name. They should change the name. Washington, D.C. Council has said, we don't like this name. The Democrat governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia said, hey, that's their business. They can keep whatever name they want. Is there any reason why that stadium would be anywhere but in Virginia?
Well, we have looked at different areas. Right now we're working on different plans on the design of a stadium, and we're going to keep meeting on this. It is a 10-year process. A lot of those people you're talking about will not be in office when we make our final decision.
But if someone is in office that wants you to change your name,
is that an issue?
Do you see the owner building a stadium and giving that economic benefit to a jurisdiction that is already calling the name offensive?
Well, I don't want to get into the different calls that say we really don't mean what we're saying. We're just saying it for a political reason or political.
Or are you getting those calls?
Yeah. So we have a lot of Washington Redskin fans.
Hold it. Do you get calls like that?
We get a lot of calls.
Do you get people who say, look, we have to say this for political reasons?
Just between you and I. I'm not going to say it on the radio right now
who
they were.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we
How about that? That's interesting.
No, we get that they got pushed into a certain position and things like that. The Washington Redskins are an important part of the community on the football field. As an economic driver, our charitable foundation, we were just talking about it, is giving away $30 million in the last 15 years. We're part of all the communities, and we're proud of it. And people do want us to play there.
He's heading off to Dallas for this Monday's stunning victory over
so
the Cowboys.
Much for coming by.
Bruce Allen, president and general manager.
Before I go.
Uh-oh. He's got swag.
You have to remember, this is Dallas week.
Oh, this is great. It's a Redskins shirt, and it says Beat Dallas.
Awesome.
There you go. Fight for old DC. Great shirts. Thank you. We'll get a picture of this up at WMAL.com.
And one for you, Heather. You get one, too.
Ladies and gentlemen, the next governor of the Commonwealth of Virginia, Bruce Allen.
Thank you, Bruce.
Let's go straight to WMAL traffic and weather every 10 minutes. First on the 5s with Christy O'Brien in the Hadid Carpet Cleaning Traffic Center.